Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a short little knife video to share with you guys. It's not really a review. This here is the CJRB Pyrite, but it is premium. This is S35VN that's been very highly polished. We have titanium and a micarta inlay. We have a beautiful milled titanium clip. And then this here is the standard one, excuse me. I'm having to use my left hand because I still got these two messed up. This is steel, AR RPM 9. Still awesome, right? It's really cool that we have a budget version of this knife for about 50 bucks, and then this titanium and S35VN version for $200, which I honestly, don't really have a problem with. These are great knives. This is a limited model, right? These, I think this one's numbered here, something of 60, 49 or so of 60. I can't really read it. It's really small. It is very possible that CJRB already plans to make more of these, right? And it's like just this particular sort of high polish and micarta variant, they're only doing 60, and then they plan to do more. The idea here is to make sure, to make our voices loud, because I know that a lot of you feel like they should do more of these, right? I'm sure that the standard Pyrite will be around and they'll do different variants of this, but I really, really hope that they don't decide to only do a few of these premium ones and then that's it. I think that would be a huge mistake. If you feel the same as me, then, use my video as like sort of a like button in that general direction and let your, leave a comment down below. Because, there are people who want these. And at this point, I think these are all sold out. My whole goal here today was to make sure that people knew. I'll go over this knife and kind of talk about it a little bit, but it is literally the exact same thing as the standard one. It just, it's made out of titanium, and what's cool is it's contoured, right? It's got the micarta inlay, it's got the polished S35VN blade, and it's got a different pocket clip. Outside of that, it's essentially the same thing, and there's not too much, there's not enough here that warrants an entirely separate review, so we'll kind of make it basic. Thanks so much to CJRB for sending this knife, both of these knives, in for me to take a look at. I will link the standard Pyrite and the premium Pyrite, even if it is sold out, down below so you guys can take a look. It does help my channel when you use my links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. I am not going to do measurements. You guys can check that out in the original review. I've already done that. I feel like most of you are probably aware of it anyway. You can also get the specs by going to the link down below. But I will weigh it, because this guy actually does weigh a little bit less than the steel one. At least that's the way that it feels. So the steel one weighs 3.74 ounces. Now, you might point out, but you can get that in G10 in steel, and it'll weigh a little bit less. You're right. The difference between this guy and the steel one, I guess, right? So we got 3.74 versus 3.28. Which is pretty awesome considering, I said I wasn't going to do measurements, but considering the blade is, we're having to do this backwards again, 3 inches on the dot. That's pretty freaking balanced for a full titanium knife. Really, really cool. Let's talk about this. We're going to go ahead and kind of just jump into it because truthfully, I'll let you guys look here. Blade stock thickness is the same. The thumb studs are the same, right? The buttons in the same place, etc., etc. Something that is just a little bit different here is that this titanium one is ever so slightly contoured here. Also really, really like the position of the inlay. These are classic knife lines. Are you looking at this knife right now and thinking, that knife is a copy of the... Stop! I have heard, you would not believe, from people just from all walks of life, claiming that this knife is a copy of the something, right? Whatever you believe with your heart is just so passionate that is just an exact copy of the... I got a line of 100 people who think it's a copy of the something else. Want to know why? Because these are the most generic, common knife lines that have ever existed. The lines on this knife are defining knife lines since the dawn of man, at least the dawn of man discovering cutting tools, right? This is not a copy of anything. And anything that you think it is a copy of has undoubtedly copied something else, probably from decades ago. So don't get caught up in that. Don't think that that has to be a copy of it's the drift, or it's the bug out, or there's a bajillion of them, because there are too many knives that borrow the same classic lines, and these lines are not owned by anyone. So don't get worked up about that. It's a waste of time. But they work. The reason that we see so many knives utilizing these, generally these lines, is because they work, right? Ergonomically, I mean, here in the standard position, great. It's choked up, great. It's awesome. I like this a little bit better because it is not flat. I'll always take, the contouring where I can get it. The steel one's fine. The G10 one's fine. They're flat, right? And, in many cases, this is going to be the better option, the steel or the G10 one, because again, they're $50. AR RPM 9 will not hold an edge as long as S35VN, but it's really good. It's one of the only, if not the only, budget powder steel in existence. At least the only powder steel you'll see consistently in budget territory. So that's really cool, right? That's a reason to get that. But I do like how this one feels in hand a little bit more. I like that the pocket clip is, there's no like ramp or swoop in it. It's just straight. And then it is also radiused, right? There's a nice ramp underneath the clip. In and out of the pocket, this thing is just an absolute masterpiece. Obviously, the polish on the blade is gorgeous, and I love this. A lot of, I had some people saying like, oh, this is obviously a collector knife because it's so shiny. High polishes on blades are not, that's not like a collector element, right? I mean, like, it appeals to people who collect knives, but a high polish on a blade has been a thing for like an extremely long time. I mean, they polished blades hundreds of years ago after they figured out that it had corrosion resistance. Like, it added elements of corrosion resistance, and it also reduces drag while you're cutting. So, is it a shiny thing that makes it look pretty and delicate? Yeah, eye of the beholder though, right? But the reason for polishing a blade does have like utilitarian elements to it, right? How you feel about that yourself, your internal believies and feelies, right? You can only speak for yourself. The polish does look good though. Will it mark up? Yeah, I mean, especially if you're cutting things that are harder than the blade itself, right? But if you're cutting like, I don't know, stuff like styrofoam and, yeah, cardboard can mark it up after a while. You can also repolish it yourself if you know what you're doing. That's the same, I guess, with any. This is the type of knife where it's a little bit easier to do because everything else is already polished. If you know how to do that, right? I'm not saying everybody does, but saying it's easy is kind of the wrong thing to say. But you could, if you wanted to. But I do like it. It's not quite a true mirror. It's kind of the same thing that we saw on the Citadel. The Todd Bag and Artisan Cutlery collaboration Citadel. It's the same finish, which is really cool. I love this. I wish they would do this on more stuff. If they can do this on a knife and charge $200 for it, I'd like to see it on a lot more stuff. Really, this is beautiful. I've not seen this. I've not seen another company do this at this price. This is really, really nice. I think that this is one of those knives where the lines are so generic and so safe, and I'm not meaning that in a bad way. When you can get that to line up with something that's really appealing with a lot of people, like a knife that is relatively thin, relatively compact, lightweight, follows a trend, right? We have a lot of button locks right now. Everybody's competing for, best button lock, and I think CJRB really hit the nail on the head with this guy. Very popular. So when that happens, right? I think that they're headed, obviously they're, in the right direction here. They have a bunch of different variants in various price ranges. I think they're obviously going to do a whole bunch of different things with the budget version of this knife, but they should do just as many things with the premium one. Imagine with me that we have, different colors, different anodized versions of this. You have green and blue and purple, and Artisan Cutlery and CJRB have certainly shown off that they're willing to do that with other models. They're actually one of the more colorful companies that we've seen in this territory, right? You could definitely do different finishes for people who don't like the ultra shiny experience. We could do, a DLC or a PVD or whatever they use generally. You could do a general stone wash. You could do belt satin. You could do hand rub satin, right? These are all things that this company has done within this relative price range before. You could also have different inlay materials, right? These are all things that we see from from not just CJRB, but other companies making knives in the same territory. You could do carbon fiber, you could do wood. This knife was, the nice thing about generic lines and really safe sort of, these lines cater to a wide audience, right? There's nothing like crazy that would like really appeal to some people and not appeal to a lot of others, right? It's a very appealing, safe overall aesthetic. And the nice thing about that, and the way that they have done this, like where they have carved out this area for the inlay, is that they could do not just different materials, but different texture patterns, right? So instead of doing an inlay, they could just carve out the outline, and within the outline, you could do diagonal lines, you could do like golf ball texturing, you could do diamond texturing. And I'll take actually the Riot and another Todd Bag collaboration with Riot, where they did the Bodega. It was part of the Steelcraft series. If you guys remember how wild they got with the anodizing there, they would do blue and then they would anodize the textured areas like gold, and it looked so cool, the contrast there. So I'm imagining, if they do different runs of this in the future, they should do weird variants, right? They should, in my opinion, do one that's green with a carbon fiber inlay, or do one that's, you've got kind of a bronze ano and then it's like textured tie here and then anodize that blue, right? These types of things are going to appeal to different people, but my whole point here is it would be a waste. And they could be way ahead of me here. By the time you guys are seeing this, they could already be like, yeah, we're doing a bunch of different versions, right? That would be my guess. But I'm recording this just in case. It would be a waste to only do, 100 of these, to just do like a couple of cool runs and then just let it die. This is fun. This is a knife I could see myself buying, right? I mean, they sent this one to me for free. CJRB, if the right one came down the pipeline, I would buy this. No problem. I think this is really cool. And I have very much enjoyed EDCing this guy. This guy has been in my pocket a lot. This guy is probably going to replace that guy. I mean, this might, I don't know, just be more of like a beatery kind of knife. But I really, really, truly enjoy EDCing these knives. It's one of those things that as an enthusiast, I enjoy these elements. And I think it's really cool that they made this special version. But I also like it as a general cutting tool. It just works. The button lock works. It's basically a home run. And this version in particular is pretty much, I almost have no critiques for this. This is essentially a perfect EDC knife. It's really great. I love it. And honestly, this standard, high polish and micarta version is pretty cool too. Right? I mean, if I could change it, I would, but I actually like how this looks. I think it's awesome. I don't know that I really have a whole lot more to say. Like I said, I mean, if you want more detail on, if you want a full comprehensive review of the design, you can check out the review on this guy. I actually have the original G10 prototype reviewed and the steel version, so there's 2 videos you can watch if you want, but this is a home run. Do more of these. Make different variants, right? I'm very confident that they will, but we got a little, little nugget of gold here, and I just want to keep it safe. It's precious, right? Anyways, before we get weird, again, I will link this stuff down below so you guys can check it out. Thanks again to CJRB/Artisan Cutlery for sending this guy in. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.